What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So yesterday I picked up these seats off of Marketplace. Yesterday I deep cleaned this one. It's still not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. I didn't expect it to be perfect. I still got more work to do to it. I'm gonna dye the halos back to gray so they look really good. As you can see the age in them. I'm gonna dye the black covers down here and all of that. And then I wanted to show y'all the before, which would be this seat right here. And you can see how filthy it is. This one's got a tear over here. It's the driver's side seat. And it's filthy. And you can see the difference in color between the two seats from cleaning it. And it's a big difference. And once I dye up these covers and everything down here, dye the halos, they're not going to be perfect. This one's a little cracked up, but it's going to be much better. And I'll probably wind up stitching this up. That's how I did the one that's in my Mustang, because it ripped out like this. Except I don't think it was as bad. Well, actually, I did stitch it from like there to there. But I'll stitch this one up like I did in my Mustang. And then, I don't know about this spot. I mean, it's a little jacked up there, but there's nothing you can do about it. They could be recovered. That way they're in better shape. Just deep cleaning them right now. I'm going to take and vacuum them really well. Go over the whole entire thing, vacuum it, get them super clean. Then I'll take and vacuum it a second time just to make sure everything's good and I didn't miss anything. And then I'll take and use some upholstery cleaner. And I'll take and scrub them down. Basically shampoo them with that. Vacuum them again. And then I gotta dye the halos. Dye the black covers down at the bottom, which I'm basically out of black dye, and I don't even think I'll have enough to do these. It's basically empty. I just got the can. And same for the gray, except I got a little bit more, so I'm gonna take a chance and at least get one of the halos dyed, and should come out really, really nice. I know that seat right there already looks amazing, so I'm really excited to see how this one comes out and see them both sitting next to each other, all refinished and redone. And I think it will be awesome. So let's get to cleaning them. I got her vacuumed up pretty good. Looks decent. Now it's about time to start shampooing it and cleaning everything real good. You can see it's pretty rough, but a lot of this stuff right through here, and definitely all of this is going to come out when I take and shampoo it. And then a lot of this stuff's going to come off too. Let's get to it. Alright, so I just finished shampooing it, and I kind of ran out down at the bottom, but it seems like it came out pretty good. It's kind of wet still. It's going to take a while to dry out. It'll be nice and dry tomorrow. And you can see a few of the stains came out of the back and kind of disappeared. And then looks really good. So tomorrow it'll be dried up and it should look more like this one, but it's pretty close already. Big difference. Big difference before and after. So we're gonna take and let this thing dry up a little bit, and I'm gonna take off the side covers down here and get the halos out. To get these out, you just take and unzip it down at the bottom, then you reach up through here, and I think you like slide a tab apart or something, or you pull a tab away and you can wiggle these out, something like that. But it's pretty sharp in there, I've heard, so I gotta watch my hands in there. But yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna try to dye up these halos and the covers and see how it all comes out. So I couldn't figure out how to get the halo out, and I was like, you know what? Who cares? I don't actually need to take it out. I can just take and mask it off good and dye it right there on there. And I ran out of dye doing this one, and I would have put another coat on it, but I ran out. So it is what it is. I might hit it again in the future, but it actually is like really slick looking. Looks good. So I'm gonna take and unmask this one, and I don't have any dye, so I can't do this one, but I'll take and use the last little bit of stuff I got. That's the Lando black right here, and take and do the side covers and stuff on this one. And at some point I'll take the frame out on the bottom, like the sliders and stuff, and scuff those all down. I'll repaint those nice black, that way everything's nice and mint. Alright, so I got it pretty cleaned up. Looks good, looks real nice. I took this off and cleaned it, and I don't have enough dye to do it, so I gotta get more so I can do this. I'll probably touch up this. I'll definitely do that one. And then I already ordered the dye for that. I just gotta get the black dye now, and they cleaned up really good. I mean, I think it looks real good. Despite the rip in the driver's side seat, still a really clean set of them. And I can take and clean up the halo just like I did this one, and that's gonna be money. And paint the seat frames another day, and dye the rest of the stuff. That thing's gonna look money. So the dye I needed came in yesterday, so I dyed up this halo, finished it up. I just had to touch it up again to make sure it had a nice good even coat on it. And then I'm gonna take and mask this up so I can take and do this one. And you see it's pretty rough. Give it about 15 minutes and it'll look brand new like that one. So I'm gonna take some rubbing alcohol on the rag, rub it down real good to get it nice and clean. This way it preps it out nicely, and the dye actually adheres to the surface and soaks in on a nice clean surface. And it'll have a nice smoother layout because there's no dust or anything like that. It'll be nice and clean. It'll soak right in because this alcohol, it'll dry it out some. So the wetness of the dye will soak right into it. And it'll look brand new. Just finished it up. Came out nice. This one here, I think it's the driver's side. It's a little more cracked up and stuff. I think it was out in the weather or like more in the sunlight, and this one was more in the shade or something. So this one's not as bad. This Halo's in a little better shape. You can see it's a little cracked up there too. It's not bad at all though. Where this one's a little rougher, but like still came out like awesome looking. When you see that seat, it looks brand new. From 5 foot away, it looks brand new. I'm sure this one's gonna look the same way. They're definitely getting there. They look good. They're cleaning up a lot better than I was expecting them to. Now I gotta take and paint the seat frames down here. Get these all cleaned up and looking good. And I gotta order a black dye so I can do these. The only thing is the price went up on them on Amazon, and the price on Amazon, it always fluctuates up and down. And they're like much higher now. Like they're like $25 for a can of dye right now. And before, like 2 weeks ago, they were $13. So I'm trying to see if it drops at all before I just buy it. That way I can try to save a few bucks on that. But yeah, I'm gonna take the seat frames off and paint them real quick, and then I'll have to figure out what I want to do about the dye instead of just buying them right now. But I want to drop this video next weekend because I already got a video that's dropping this weekend right here, and it's the wheel bearing video because I just did those yesterday, and I'm working on these, getting them cleaned up in the way I want them. That way, by the time the video drops, they're perfect. Repainted up these seat frames down here. They look good, like real good. Finish is awesome on it. I used the Sim trim black, and now I gotta do this one, the passenger seat. You see it's rusted up some down there. That's how this one was. Now it looks brand new. Both sets of the rails are all painted up. Look great. I'm gonna take and flip them over real quick so y'all can see them. See them from the top. They look nice and fresh. Look good. Looks good. You can see the seats came out like really nice. They look really good. I still gotta stitch this one up right through here. I'm gonna stitch this patch up right here. And there's nothing I can do about this because it's an actual gash where the material's going. But I'm definitely gonna stitch that up the same way I did the seat that's in my car, because it ripped out like that. And then this one came out awesome too. The headrests look amazing. I just gotta dye up the black stuff on the side, those little panels, and we'll be set. Dye up the panels and stitch up that one seat right there, and I'll be done with them. So we got the black dye in. I used the Sim Lando black. There it is right there. And I prepped these out with some alcohol. I just wiped them down real good with some rubbing alcohol to get them clean. I'll wipe over them once more and we'll dye them. Got some cardboard here to spray it down on. And then we'll take and cover up around the seats and wipe these down so I can dye these back to black on both sides. finished dyeing these panels right here, and then I dyed these. I just covered up the seat right here, covered this up around the seat, dyed that, covered this all up. I can actually pull that back down to where it goes now that it's all done. Dusted over the front. Got this side all done. Looks brand new. Pull that back down. And then we can put all this stuff back in now. I'll clean up the screws so they look nice. Yeah, let's put it back together. And then I just gotta stitch that up. They came out really nice. I'll take and stitch this up real quick. Alright guys, they're all finished up. Stitch that up right there. There's nothing I can do about that gash in the seat. They came out really nice. So there you go. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.